All right, gang, just a quick video here. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to have my snail stick to the wall. And here's how I did it. So a snail has the body entered. So that'll detect when a new body, in this case, a new static body, enters the collision area of our snail. So even though it's going to be in collision with a previous body, like whatever it was currently stuck to, it'll detect when a new body enters it, because that other body, if it's, say he's going up a wall and it's still in collision with that wall, that body, we're not detecting any bodies leaving, we're only detecting when a new body enters. So what I've decided to do is I've decided to have our snail rotate. So if I look at the properties of my area 2D, rotation degrees is something that I'm able to play around with. And so I use the slider to determine that if he was moving left and hit a wall on the left side of the room and I wanted him to move up, he would rotate 90 degrees in a positive direction. And so what he would rotate, and then what I've just added was that if he was moving left, and you'll notice that whenever you're comparing values in Godot, you have to use two equal signs. So this means if direction is equal to exactly vector 2 left, then set direction to be up. If he's moving up, then have him move to the right. If he's moving right, have him move down, and then the only other possibility or possible outcome would be to move left. And so I'm going to go into my game. I'm going to add a second snail. So control D, grab that second snail. I'm going to move him over, and I'm going to rotate this instance of a snail. So back to the inspector, transform, and I'm going to rotate him now like this. It looks like he needs to be negative 90 degrees. That didn't take for some reason, negative 90. And so now we have two snails. Let's see how they go. I did speed the snail up a lot. I won't leave these settings, but just so you can see it in action. Well, there is one problem. That snail is moving across the screen, and I did not anticipate that. So let me go back to my code and figure out how to get that thing checked so that doesn't happen, because up here, it automatically sets the direction to left, and I don't want that. Let me see if I can figure out how to fix that. I'll be right back. So here's what I'm going to try to do. I do not know if this is going to work for sure, but I have changed the variable direction to be an export variable. And when you make something an export variable, it then shows up in the properties here. So right now, the default is to the left, so -1 on the X and Y. But let me go back into my game, and my snail 1, I'm going to leave him moving in the direction of left. However, snail 2, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change this. So I'm going to change his left and right direction to be 0 and have him move in a positive direction on the way down. Now that doesn't seem to have affected my snail 1, and snail 2 has its own variable that I was able to change. Let's see if that fixes the problem. Run the game. And that did it. So by exporting that variable, I was able to go in and manipulate and change each individual snail to have their own thing. So what we learned kind of as a happy accident here is that when you have a variable that's screwing up an individual instance of something in its code, you can make that variable an export variable so that when you have it in your scene, so here you'll notice that by default, this one is set to left, but this one I needed to be moving down, so I made it an export variable, which allowed me to give it its unique movement pattern. So that worked out pretty well. So that's my video, very quick, but now I have some snails that will stick to the wall and move around my room. Of course, I am going to go back and change their speed to something a little more snail-like, because those snails were on some serious performance enhancers. So now my snails will be moving nice and slow, and they'll be sticking to the wall in kind of a very interesting way. I haven't really It's done a lot with export variables, but in this case, they were just what the doctor ordered. So I hope you enjoyed the video and learned a little bit from it, because I did. Thanks for watching.